space of creative moment. Shiva is full of creative pulsation. If we go through the Shiva Sutras, Shiva is nothing but pure awareness, supreme awareness, active being awareness. He propounds, the very Lord propounds 3 skillful ways to dissolve in Him. 3 skillful ways through which one can dissolve in Him. Sutra means thread. All the skillful means are strung in this thread called Shiva Sutram. Mainly 3 skillful means by which he propounds the methodless methods of becoming the supreme awareness, the Lord Shiva himself. For this one needs a tremendous interest to dissolve oneself. Already the waking state, the state of our existences, the waking state is illusory. It is held by a panting, dying ego, which is gathering everything to hold itself as a separate entity. Whereas its true state is simply it is dissolving in deep sleep itself. Each day when it undergoes tremendous fatigue, using the triad called the intellect, mind, ego, the senses, the body, using all these, it hunts in this cosmos, trying to grapple, trying to have a separate, concrete identity. It grapples with the things, the world, time, space, possessions, knowledge, physical body. Within a cycle of 24 hours, not able to hold together all these, the waking consciousness called the waking mind, together with all these, with the world, it leaves everything there and then and disappears, because originally it is non-existent. Deep sleep is a state which is not a state of someone's generation. Someone has not generated it. We are all engulfed by deep sleep. So this is the case. The Lord, the Supreme Lord Shiva, the Supreme Awareness, the Being Awareness, Sat, and the dynamically acting awareness, creating awareness. Creating awareness in the sense, creation is not something outside of it. He doesn't create. His very nature of existence is a pulsation, a spuranam, a throb. And within his awareness, everything is reflected as if in a mirror. And the mirror is also not apart from this intelligence. Here everything is himself. He is the object, he is the subject, and there is one supreme awareness is the only subject in all the objects. This is the ultimate realization. For that, one can use any of the skillful means which he has propounded, called the Sambhava Upaya, the Sakta Upaya, and the Anava Upaya. He will just make an introduction with the first sutras of all the 3. In Shambhava Upaya, the Lord, the first sutram of Shambhava Upaya says Chaitanyam Atma. Chaitanyam means the supreme intelligence. Whose Atma is it? It is the Atma of the cosmos, the collective whole. Normally the Sanskrit word, in the normal sense, the Sanskrit word Atman, the meaning of it is self. But here, the Lord himself gives out that sutra. The Lord, the Supreme Lord Shiva, he says, the whole of the cosmos is nothing but intelligence, pure intelligence. On the one hand, we say, right from a feeling that arises in us to the grossest mountain, a mighty mountain that is being seen by our mind through our eyes as a gross object, physical object, are all nothing but the seeing, the seer be it the intellect, or be it the mind, or the senses, the eye senses, the sense of eye seeing. They are all nothing but illusory inertia. An individual is also referred as Atman, Atma in the individual self. But in this first sutra, the Lord says, Chaitanyam Atma. Here, what is that Chaitanyam? There is nothing, even this mighty mountain, a speck of space, the universes, the stars, a blade of grass, all is pervaded by intelligence, in and through, in and out, held in intelligence, and they are intelligence. They don't represent, they are this Atma, they are this Chaitanyam. So the very nature of universe is nothing but it is intelligence in itself. It is not dependent on anything at all. This is the first sutra of Shambhava Upaya. And we see in the Shakta-upaya, there are these three skillful means he has given to us. And the next comes the Shakta-upaya. In that, the very first sutram, the bead, which is strung in that thread, the first sutram is, the first bead is Chittam Mantraha. Chittam. Here, Chittam means the individual who only sees, who only dwells within himself as his intellect, as his mind, as his ego. All the three, the triad, identify with the light by which they have their distinctness. That means within, one sees the light through which his intellect dichotomizes, his mind roams within and out. One sees his existence as the physical body, and as in this world, he identifies the whole of the paraphernalia of this universe within himself, and that is being lit only by the supreme awareness. And his identification of the subtle body is always only in that supreme intelligence. Wherever anything originates within, he dwells there. This is what is the very chitta, the mind stuff in English they say, consisting of the three, lives, dwells in that light. I remember a verse of Bhagavan Ramana Maharishi in Upadesa Undiyar, wherein he clearly mentions the technique in which the next level of student who can use the Shakta-upaya can practice. Manam tan uli uru ordale undi para, unmai unarchiyam idu undi para. The mind stuff here, it ruminates, it ponders, deeply contemplates. From where do I get this light to reveal the feeling which has originated in me, which is being lived through by me, and in a moment disappears in me? What is that light? That light never ceases to exist within me, whereas the feeling which is being revealed, lived through and disappeared exists only by that light. Millions of feelings may pass by, millions and millions of thoughts may pass by, millions and millions of objects may be looked at, lived with, identified with, but the light which shines within each of these feelings, thoughts, objects of the world never ceases. This is what is given in that verse. Manam tan oli uru ordale undi para, unmai unarchiyam idu undi para. Investigate, inquire within the light that reveals your thought. Again, to whom? Because our waking state existence is only relational. Because between judgment of one thought by another thought is called our life. Relating of one thought or one video with another video is our living, so-called the earthly living. But the skillful practitioner who uses this Shakta-upaya has transcended all the physical things. He, as his subtle body, continuously dissolves his subtle body, the triad, in the light of that supreme awareness, the being awareness, the dynamic awareness. This feeling of two thoughts, a thought has passed by and another thought is yet to arise. And even before a thought arises, the person is aware of that empty space. It is like empty space, whereas it is a true I feeling, the true feeling of supreme awareness. It is the true existent feeling of that Lord Shiva. This is what Bhagavan Ramana Maharishi is saying in this verse. But to come to this level, one has to depend on the sadhu sangha only, that is satsanga only, and making himself in discerning as to which is originally self-luminous and which are all dependent on it for its existence, which are all actually covered by dross stains, coverings, concealment of the veiling power of the ego. So, even before the arisal of a thought, one knows without a thought, without a feeling, oh, this is not emptiness, this is a true feeling of that supreme awareness. And the thought comes and conceals that awareness for a while. And one is very careful even through the thought. This is what is Shakta-upaya. Even through the thought. That is why they use in this sutra a beautiful word. Chittam itself is mantra. What is that chittam? The chittam, the mind stuff, which itself has become self-luminous by constant association, the constant recognition of that supreme awareness, which indwells as a substratum for a thought or a feeling to pass by. And even if a thought has arisen, that thought also is no more a normal thought. It transcends the relational standpoint, and that itself reveals that itself is a light, self-luminous light, not depending on anything. And that thought has vanished, revealing more of the light of the Shiva before another thought to arise. So before the arisal of a thought, during the existence of a thought, the disappearance, and for another thought it not has arisen, both the thoughts and in between spaces, everything is the light of the mind stuff itself. The mind stuff itself has undergone transformation, that whatever that as a thought or a feeling arises in it, that also carries the swabhava, the original nature. The original nature is being awareness, being consciousness, acting consciousness, reflecting consciousness. This reflection is identified as the spurana or the throb. So the intellect or the mind or the ego, all the moments during the waking state is in a state of throb, pulsation, not different from the self-luminous awareness. This one has to remember. So this is Shakta-upaya, first sutram, that is Chittam mantra, the mind stuff itself is the link to realize that Supreme Lord. For mantra, mananat trayate iti mantra, that is the definition. What is that mananat? See, here is the individual who has left the five senses, the world, five organs of power of knowledge, jnanendriyas, for 5 organs of power of action, karmendriyas, the gross physical world, everything he has left away and receded into his deepest inner chamber, and he is with the mind stuff which is lit by that supreme being awareness and action awareness, that is the throb of Lord Shiva, and he lives in that. Here is mind stuff, mananath, it is deeply in contemplation, ruminating, pondering within about that supreme abode. From where do these things originate? He is settled in that abode, he is abiding in that abode. No relational thoughts of the world or things arise in him. He is fully, completely ruminating, pondering, contemplating only about that supreme effulgence of the Lord Shiva. This is what mananam, mananath. By deep contemplation, that supreme consciousness itself draws him within it. Trayate means the mind stuff itself saves him. The root word trayate means to save. It comes in all the places. Kshetram, Kshatriyan. Kshetram means the place, the location, physical location itself saves a person. Kshatriya is a person who saves by showing his virya, capacity to fight. He fights and saves. That is why he is Kshatriya. He kills, conquers and saves us. So this tra, the root word, mantram, it is attached with man plus tra. Mantra hai. Chittam mantra hai. The very mind stuff of the individual who sees, who it has become, the very mind stuff has itself become that supreme awareness, the light of supreme awareness, being awareness. He feels he is everything, he is Lord Shiva. It is not a feeling separate from him. He is Lord Shiva. This is what is pure awareness, is Lord Shiva. Now comes, we'll go to the third upaya, that is the Anava upaya. The second is Shakta upaya. Shakta is nothing but Shiva's Shakti, Shiva's universal mind. The universal mind reflecting on its own within itself is the complete cosmos. There is nothing which can exist outside of this Shiva's gaze. This is Shakta upaya. And the Shambhava upaya is nothing but the intelligence itself is the universal Atma. In each speck of space, the Lord dwells. The Lord lives. Shambhu is the name of Shiva. That is why Shambhu means incident. In each incident, the Lord fills each incident. Everything is His happening. The complete cosmos is His happening. He enjoys supreme sovereignty. He enjoys full freedom. In Shambhava upaya, they are not different from one another. Anything can be used by the developed intellect, by the abhyasa. One gains confidence between all the three skillful means and uses it as the most skillful, efficient practicer. In Shakta upaya, his Shakti, the individual mind stuff, merges, dissolves in his light. In his light. In Anava upaya, the first sutram is Atma Chittam. Here Atma is the same individual. This triad, namely the intellect, mind and ego, are the Chittam of the individual self. Why this is called Anavopaya? The Anava, the word comes from the root word Anu. Anu means atom, minute, individual. That is why, for your question also, you said you want to have that experience of living outside of your physical body, because the whole of the physical cosmos, including your physical body, my physical body, everything is in one mind stuff. Where else we can live? That is why as you train yourself practicing lot of dhyana and samadhi, listening to these satsangs, slowly come out of the body feelings, enter the inner arena, and in the inner arena also, in an instant, you will feel you are that supreme being consciousness, being awareness and dynamic acting awareness. Because the same Lord Shiva is being categorized as 5 ways of manifestation, namely he himself becomes the Shaktis, the energies, the forces that originate within him, from him, as the Shakti. He himself is the Sadashiva, where the will, Sadashiva is the permeation through his action, will, the throb emanates. The permission to be everything. He is everything already. There is no time at all. It is not a becoming process just that is happening in us. We are all, we need time to become something, to be something. There is no time process at all. So, the same I as the self, the Lord Shiva, is also reflecting within him as this. I am this, like that. This is what is the state of Sadashiva, where the willing, a constant movement through his Shakti, a willing is taking place. Willing not to be, just be. He is everything of this cosmos. And the fourth one is the state of Ishvara or Aishwarya, that is what they say, where Jnana is predominant. The knowing is predominant in this, because he has the fundamental messages. Just like in DNA, we have DNA messages, chromosomes, and those chromosomes express themselves as different forms in this world of life, isn't it? In the same way, Ishvara, everything is held in him as a jnana, the deep-rooted fundamental messages, and it doesn't exist outside of him. Again, Ishvara is Lord Shiva himself through his Shakti, where the part of jnana, the knowledge, as knowing exists. And the next level is, the fifth level is the Shuddha Vidya, where both are equally balanced. I am is also balanced with this. This is also equal in the pan of an evenly held balance, and I am is also on the one side. Both are evenly balanced, where the actions take place. The world, the universes are formed. Only creation is not separate from supreme intelligence, being intelligence, from Lord Shiva. This is how it is happening. These are all universal in nature. That is why he enjoys supreme free will, supreme freedom, sovereignty over all that is manifested. And here on, from now on, he is descending to the individual. He is descending into the individual. The individual is also not different from him, but individual is being veiled by a measured movement of descendants as an individual. That is what they call as Maya. The third, which we have been seeing, the Anava Upaya, is actually the atom-like individuality that is existing in us through our identification, through our intellect being identified with the physical body through the waking state in all its actions. This triad during the waking state forms the skillful means to reach to the highest state called Shambha Upaya, that is the Shambhu, reach the Lord Shiva himself as his supreme consciousness. That is why here it is given Atma Chittam. See, in all the three sutras, in three upayas, three skillful means, the Shambha Upaya, Chaitanyam, the word has come as Chaitanyam, the intelligence itself, to Kansayar, being illuminative, being self-effulgent, being dynamic pulsation, creation. That is Shambha Upaya. And in the second also the same word, Chaitanyam, has become Chittam. Chittam itself, the individual's mind itself, the mind stuff itself with the triad, has become mantra and saves him to realize that he himself is none other than the Lord Shiva. And the third upaya, Anava Upaya, which starts with the individual, that the individual self itself forms the foundation for Shakta Upaya's Chittam. Here Atma Chittam, there in the Shakta Upaya, Chittam mantra hai. This is how the upayas, the skillful means, are given by Lord Shiva himself. That we will go into it in a detailed way in our next satsang. And for your questions, so there is no question, because there is no question of trying to feel a state outside of your body, because all the physical, psychological are simply illusory, like a reflection in a mirror, and everything is in and through permeated by only the supreme awareness. See, you be in this path of transcending your physical body and always identify yourself with who the thinker is, who wants to live outside of his body, who wants to enjoy a state of pleasure. Get into him closely. That is why Bhagavan Ramana Maharishi's verse, we can take it as it is. He says, Manam tan oli uru ordale. The mind stuff, if it searches out, if it seeks out, if it investigates its origin, the place of origin, that itself is nothing but a light, self-effulgent on its own, the supreme awareness. There is no other domain or place exists here where the thoughts originate, where the feelings originate as identification with the body or with the worldly things. That abode, you always be after that. It is an abstract intelligence, but it is concrete in nature. As you practice, as you dive deep, as you dissolve yourself in that consistently, perseverantly, you will transcend not only this physical body, you will transcend the complete manifestation. Then you will reach the place as given in this first sutra in Shambha Upaya, Chaitanyam Atma. The Lord's, the Supreme Lord's Atma, Self, the Supreme Self is nothing but being awareness and dynamic pulsating active awareness.
I am attaching the bell meditation with this satsang. You will be hearing a bell sound with 40 seconds gap in between. Using this meditation, reflect on the facts that were investigated in this satsang.